Here, and this is the Dominant Premed Show. And today we are talking about the COVID crisis and your clinical shadowing opportunities because so many of you guys have emailed me and asked, what should you do if you need shadowing, if you're in shadowing, if you're trying to get that letter of recommendation from that clinical shadowing you did, how do you handle that during COVID? So today we're going to talk about it. Get ready, y'all. Here we go. But stop making excuses, stop whining, stop, right? Get at it. No excuses, just dominate. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm Dr. Pinesett. This is the Dominate Pre-Med Show, and today we're talking about clinical shadowing and coronavirus and what you should do because I've gotten so many messages about it. Junior, hello. Harpreet, Nicholas, Antonia, Sally, Nina, what up? So with clinical shadowing, I know, guys, it's a big thing. Everyone feels like they need clinical shadowing, and I think it's definitely an essential part of your application because medical schools want you to have that clinical experience, to know that you've hung out with doctors, know that you've been in that patient care provider situation and you actually know what it is, what it entails, and that you like it, and you're able to talk about it intelligently. So it's very important to your application. Because of that, so many of you guys are freaking out right now because there is a coronavirus pandemic going on. It is scary stuff. As someone who works in the hospital, I can tell you. I guess I should start there. It is bad, guys, but it's not as bad as people are making out to be. I think a lot of people are on social media kind of exaggerating the, like, I see all these pictures of people who are like blistered up on their faces from their masks. Like, it's not that bad yet in 90% of hospitals. There are some hospitals that have been hit heavily because of the population and where they're at, but it's not that bad yet. And it's important, if you guys don't already know this, to be social distancing to continue to flatten that curve. And I think that's where this kind of clinical shadowing question needs to be thought about in a larger sense of, if you are shadowing someone, so you're not providing care, you're shadowing a physician, are you working to flatten the curve? Are you social distancing? Or are you crowding yourself in a situation, adding another body to a situation, another vector to spread illness? And because of that, what I recommend is if you are someone who needs clinical shadowing hours right now, what you should be thinking about, what you should be doing is actually not doing clinical shadowing hours. You should be putting that on hiatus and on hold. And it sucks because for some of you guys, you were waiting till right now, right? You've had you maybe wrapped up everything else. You were to get some clinical shadowing right before you applied. It's not going to happen right now, and it shouldn't happen right now. You should stay out of all clinical environments. That's the takeaway message from this video: is that you should not be in any clinical environment if you don't have to be. I'm paid to be there as a physician, and I don't want to be there. So you guys shouldn't be looking for opportunities to get in the hospital. If you don't have your clinical hours, don't think, oh, I'm just going to apply without those clinical shadowing hours. What you're going to have to do, guys, is push your application back. And this is for people who have no clinical shadowing. If you have some clinical shadowing, a couple hours, then go ahead and apply. But if you don't have clinical shadowing yet, and you're planning on using this summer or this spring, do not apply. Wait until next year, get it right, get the clinical hours when it's safe, and then you'll be able to go in. For some of you guys, you were already doing clinical shadowing. And I hope that your clinical person you're shadowing, your mentor, your preceptor, has been wise enough and intelligent enough to tell you, hey, don't come to shadowing. I'm not holding it against you. But if you guys are still planning on going or have been going to clinical shadowing, stop right now. Stop, guys. Stop, 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 stop. I can't say it any stronger. And where this kind of comes from, some of you guys are like, wait a minute, like, my shadowing is important and I'm there. It's not important, guys. It's nothing to risk your life over. And you may not die from coronavirus, but I would tell you guys, this whole flatten the curve thing is not about protecting everyone, but it's about protecting the vulnerable. And for you guys who want to do the best for yourself and for your families, think about them as you have these volunteer opportunities and say, you know what? It's not worth it. And the way I look at it for my students is, what good is getting admitted to medical school if you can't go because you're sick or because your family members are sick or because, so just stop. Don't go into clinical environments. Cut it out. For you guys who have already clinical shadowed, you've been out there, you did your shadowing, maybe you did it last year, did the year before, and it's been a while, and now you're going to apply, and you're hoping to get a letter of recommendation, a glowing letter of recommendation from your clinical preceptor. The way I would say to go about it is to understand that many doctors, although it is not bad yet at every hospital, for many doctors, hospitals are ramping up in preparation of what's happening. In fact, some hospitals are ramping down to ramp up. In the case of our hospital, or in hospitals nationwide, elective cases are being canceled. And while that seems like, okay, it's not a big deal, elective cases are canceled, most of the procedures that take place in a hospital on a given day in the operating rooms are elective. And the way that this kind of trickles down is that when you don't have elective cases, you don't have surgeons working, so they're not getting paid. You don't have anesthesiologists working, they're not getting paid. You don't have nurses working in that capacity, they're not getting paid. It also trickles over because the reason we're stopping this is because these patients get admitted to the hospital, the ICUs in different places. So a lot of staff are having their hours cut or having things cut. So the economics right now in healthcare are difficult for people. And so it's a very stressful time outside of just the virus, but also the aspect of the finances of it. So your physician preceptor is probably stressed out right now. And so what I would recommend is it's March, right? The last day of March. I would send them a gentle email and say, hey, listen, I know you're very busy. I know it's a stressful time. I hope you and your family are being safe. I just wanted to remind you that I'm applying to medical school this year. And so the deadline for letters of recommendation is coming up in a couple months. And I'm hoping that you would write me one. And then here's the key, guys. You have to facilitate them writing you a letter. My students know, right, when we ask for letter of recommendation, we send to them our letter of recommendation writer packet, which has all the details they need to easily prepare a letter for us. Included in that packet is actually a draft of our letter of recommendation that we want them to write to make it very easy for them. I would highly encourage you guys to facilitate your letters of recommendation writers. Ease the process for them. Don't make them have to think about, wait, who are you? What is this for? Have all the details in there. Have everything they need to make it just a smooth process and to lower, right? Don't add something else to their plate right now. So if you want a good quality letter of recommendation, set yourself up for that by giving them all the information they need right in front of them to execute a letter in the easiest and simplest way possible. Does that make sense to everybody? To everybody. Meryl, hello. Herschel, what up? Alex, what up? Meryl, hello. Kasim, yeah. So put your physician preceptor in a position to help you out. And guys, it's not a drill. It's not a joke. It's not worth it to be in a hospital right now. I'm actually even, like today I had a patient. I just got back from the hospital. I'm going back tonight. I'm on call. But it was funny because this morning I had a patient. It was a guy. And normally people have sleep apnea. We're kind of hesitant to send them home. But this guy was there and he's like, yeah, the surgeon was like, oh, he has sleep apnea. He'll have to stay. And I'm like, wait, do you promise to use your CPAP machine? Yes, you do. Great. Do you have someone who can stay with you? Yes. Great. You can go home because I don't want my patients being exposed in the hospital longer than they have to. Okay. I think that that's doing them a disservice to stay in the hospital and just be in this place where there's germs flying left and right. So please, guys, take the time, be smart, and get away from the hospitals. If you get nothing else from this video, stay away from the hospitals and understand that healthcare providers, we signed up for this. We're not complaining about it, but it is a stressful time. So respect that, right? And show that respect by making sure if you're asking for a letter of recommendation or you're asking for whatever, be courteous about it. Don't, like right now, like if you've ever shadowed me, don't email me with some idiotic question about what's going on with COVID. I don't have time for it, right? Focus on taking stuff off your preceptors and your mentors' plates as opposed to adding to it. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm Dr. Pinesett. This is the Dominant Premed Show. And you guys have the website, right? StudentTransformation.com. Lots of great courses, lots of great programs on there. You guys see my students in the box talking about the Total Premed Transformation, which is my pre-med coaching group, which is incredible. You get to be coached by me. You get all of my pre-med courses all bundled together. If you're looking for something smaller, I have my Dominate the Application course. I also have my Dominate Pre-Med course, which has the information about how you put your letter of recommendation packet together, what clinical experience is, and how do you get it, and how do you go about obtaining it. So check that out on my website, StudentTransformation.com. And as always, guys, have a beautiful and a wonderful, amazing day through this social distancing. I hope you guys are having a better time of it than Sam Smith. Did you guys see that video of Sam Smith? Was I the only one who saw Sam Smith crying about how hard it is to be in his $12 million mansion during this quarantine time? All bad, guys, all bad. But we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to keep progressing. We're going to keep getting better, right? Because we don't stop. We keep rocking. No excuses. Just dominate. You guys have a great, wonderful, fantastical day. See you next time. Today is the day, guys. No more excuses. No more complaining. You're going to take your future in your own hands. You're going to dominate. You're going to be successful. Get to my website, StudentTransformation.com. I challenge you. What are you going to do today to make your life better?